Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen. If you were watching a couple of weeks ago where I made a brownie out of Toblerones, you'll know that I was having trouble at the grocery store finding baker's chocolate. One of the other things that became available just after Easter were these milk chocolate bunnies. Not the greatest chocolate to cook with, but I think it's going to go really well in the cake I'm making today. So I'm going to start out by melting this down. So the bunny is melting, and that didn't quite go to plan, but unlike my regular day job where I would have 14 to 16 hours to make that happen and an unlimited number of chocolate bunnies so that it didn't spill all over the stovetop, I only had one bunny, so we're going to make do with what happened there. Next, into this stand mixer, I'm going to put the butter, and we're going to cream that until it's nice and fluffy. And I know I don't say this as often as I probably should, but even if you've got one of these beaters with the rubber bit around the outside that's supposed to scrape the bowl, you still have to get in there with a rubber spatula and scrape the bowl. Otherwise, you're just going to leave some behind and it's not going to get mixed properly. But the butter looks like it's pretty much creamed. So start this up again and we'll pour in the sugar and cream the two together. Now turn the mixer down and you put the eggs in one at a time, and you wait for the egg to be pretty much fully incorporated before you put the next one in. It just makes it so much easier to get them mixed in properly. If you put them in all at once, you get a sloppy mixture and it comes together really slowly. This way, it's quite a bit faster. We need a little bit of vanilla, so just free pour. And while that mixes in, we also need a little bit of maple syrup, about a quarter cup. Now, if you don't have maple syrup, you could use corn syrup, you could use golden syrup, you could use honey. Honey would work really well in this. You could pretty much use any of the liquid sugars. Okay. But this stuff is just so good. I wish everybody could have as much maple syrup as I do, because it just brightens my day to no end. So as the mixer is still running, we're going to pour this in. Okay, now we pour in the chocolate. Now, the rabbit should give me enough chocolate, enough melted chocolate, to do both the cake and the sauce that I want to make for the end. So I'm not going to pour all of this in, I'm going to hold some back. And you just pour it in and let the mixer do its work. I'm just going to let the mixer go a couple of minutes more. Here is the flour, and to that I'm going to add a pinch of salt and some baking soda. And I'll just give that a quick stir. Now the last ingredient I need is buttermilk, but I don't have any buttermilk, so my old standby is to take a scoop of plain yogurt, maybe a scoop and a half or 2 scoops. And then top that up with some milk. And then just whisk this together. Essentially what you want to do is you want to sour the milk, but you want to bring all of the other flavors that buttermilk has. Buttermilk in North America, Canada and the United States anyway, is a fermented product. And so yogurt's fermented. You could also put in sour cream if you wanted. And if you didn't have either of these, you could just use kefir. So let's do the final assembly. Okay, so now we mix in a little bit of the flour and then a little bit of the milk, and we just go back and forth until it's all incorporated. Nuts, if you want them, all I could find were some walnuts, but pecans or peanuts or almonds, any of those would go in this cake, I think. So just use what you've got, and if you don't have any, I don't think I'd really worry about it. Now, I have a 12-cup bundt pan that I have buttered and floured inside, and we're just going to transfer over to that. And then into the oven for about an hour and a bit. Everybody's oven is going to be a little bit different, so you've got to check it with a cake tester. Oh yeah. I think that ticks a lot of boxes. The cake is out and cooling down, so we're going to make a sauce to go over top. And it is a maple chocolate sauce to complement what's in the cake. So I've got part of that Easter bunny right here in the pot. It's still warmed and melted. And into this pot, I'm going to put some cream. And maple syrup. And we just want to gently heat the two together so that we can mix the chocolate in without the chocolate sort of freezing into the sauce. So I don't have it on very high heat at all. Just gently bring the temperature up as you stir the two together. Okay, now I'm going to scrape this chocolate into the sauce. And then just continue stirring it in, and then I'm going to transfer it to this jug so we can serve it.
Hi, friends. I know.
This is where Julie finds out
This is what I just found out.
that I melted the Easter bunny.
The leftover Easter chocolate has been
It's in this cake.
changed.
Okay, so slice it up and let's get the sauce on. I can't wait to taste it. We just had this leftover KFC bean and tomato bake for supper,
Oh no,
which I thought was really good. And so that, yeah, I guess this is leftover chocolate cake.
Yep.
Thank you. A little bit of chocolate sauce on top. Okay,
Thank you.
a little taste. Now the sauce is pretty thin, and that's down to, you could add more chocolate if you wanted to.
Dun dun dun, and that's really kind of mapley, chocolatey good,
Yeah.
for lack of a better, mapley chocolatey good. Don't know that I was a little concerned about the maple syrup and the chocolate together.
Oh, come on. Maple syrup goes with everything.
I can see by the way you're wolfing it down. It's working for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a good cake.
It is a good cake. So it's light and moist. I don't know that it has to be done in a bundt pan. I think you could do it in a couple of layer pans. And you could play around with the chocolates. I mean, chocolate Easter bunny milk chocolate is not generally the best quality Easter chocolate, or chocolate in general. So, you know, you can play with that part of the recipe as well. I really like this. We should finish eating it. Thanks for stopping by. Stay safe, stay healthy. See you again soon.